Hello, how's everyone doing this Sunday evening? Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. I have some very important information to bring to you pertaining to the kidnapping, death of Cash Gernon. The information I got was a bit surprising, alongside other information that has been uploaded to social media. This case is very disturbing, very disturbing. Um, Too many versions, too many stories pertaining to who knows who knows whom. And each day, as you follow the information, follow the trail to the truth, you learn a little bit more about the parties involved in this case. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Crystal, so very much. I don't even know where to start because I'm so stunned right now, I could scream. I'm going to let a few of you get in the chat. I've got 44 viewing. Hello. Hi, Gen C. I want to thank one of the fans for dropping the T on the community post. Thank you, baby. Lord have mercy, help us. This will be a roller coaster ride, this live. And I pray this live will hold with no malfunctions. Hit the link at the top of the page if you want to join the panel. Hello, no thanks. Thanks for joining me. Yes, it is disturbing. And I'm got shakes almost because I'm in my mind, I'm telling myself, I'm going to try to remain calm during this live in what I'm going to reveal to you. I'm just going to try my best not to get ignorant. So bear with me. 37 viewing. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you need to recap those coming in late, start the video all over. I don't know. Just do what you got to do. I'm going to bring you the tea. This is what's running on YT at this moment pertaining to the death of Cash Gernon. What you've been told is a lie. Monica, you didn't think we were going to find out about the phone call you made to the police the same morning? You didn't think we were going to find out that you already called the police before 11 o'clock. See, this is what I don't understand about you, lady. How is it you didn't think we were going to find out? Most importantly, the police. Because it's their job to investigate a homicide, which is a homicide pertaining to Cash Gernon. You lied, lady, again. You don't know him. Your son don't know DB. But guess what? The affidavit has obviously been found, released. You called the police that morning for a break-in. You a dirty bird. You a dirty bird. God, let this live hold, please. Amen. Just let me make it through. Put my glasses on so I can get the information to you correctly. Then I'm going to take the focus off. Monica Sherrod. A phone call went into the police station in Dallas, Texas at 6:50 a.m. from your house to 7500. Well, no, excuse me. Take that back. I'm moving too fast. At 6:50, a woman discovered a child deceased in a street on 7500 Saddle Ridge. But the disturbing part is if at 6:50, the black lady I may have to go from my phone. I know it. It's starting already. Because I don't know if I'm gonna have to leave out and do the live. The baby was discovered. A call went in at 6:50 of a child discovered on 7500 Saddle Ridge by African-American female. The weird and disturbing part is that at 6:53 a.m., a police dispatch got a call at 6:53.58 seconds from Miss Sherrod, Monica Sherrod, from 7527 Florina Parkway. 6:50, dead body. 6:53, blocks over. You calling the police that somebody broke into your house. Okay. Make sure I'm running. Something's not right here. You called the police at 6:53, stating you had a break-in. So what I don't understand is what was discovered with the break-in at your house? What did they find out? And what we know that's crazy, I don't know what's blinking on my screen. Sorry. I may have to go back out. What's crazy is you didn't check your children's rooms. You didn't check for all the people living in your house. To see that everyone was accounted for. I know you can hear me, baby, but I've got something blinking on my screen and I don't know what it is. So that's the issue right now. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. This happens every live. I'm gonna have to use my other device because I can't function like this. This is crazy. Everything's messed up. Hold on. Now the phone's acting up. Lord have mercy. You got to be kidding me. It's an omen. Thinking about them kids. Time you talk about them kids. Hold on. Wait a minute, you guys. I don't know what's going on with this. I may have to check back out because this is messing up already. I can't even get a connection on my phone. You never checked on your children. You never checked to see who was accounted for in your house. So we're trying to understand. 6:50, the child has been discovered in a street, 7500 Saddle Ridge, blocks away. You live at 7527 and you made a phone call at 6:53 that morning that somebody broke into your house. So you never checked on your kids. So what happened? You went back to sleep and woke back up, or somebody woke you up, and then you made a phone call at 10:48 a.m. in regards to Cash Gernon being missing. It shows on a camera, allegedly, Darren Brown at 7:27 a.m. returning to your house looking over Carter Gernon. It has also been said in that said video, he had a knife. I just learned that yesterday. I'm a little late. It was a blowed up photograph, still of that video. And in my mind, I kept telling myself, dear God, what is going on with this case? Why does he have a knife? This makes him look like he's guilty. And of course, he's mumbling in that said video, saying what? I do not know. But the baffling thing is, besides him having the knife, what the hell are you doing making a phone call 3 minutes after the lady just discovered your alleged child dead blocks over? 8 minutes by foot. On that said video. A man enters your house into the children's bedroom where two children are sleeping, Cash and Carter Gernon. At 5 a.m., someone takes Cash out of that said bed. I'm confused. So we're talking about an almost 2-hour window from 5 a.m., someone taking Cash out of the bed, to you making a phone call to 6:53 a.m. to the police department of a break-in to your address of 7527 Florina Parkway. What the F is going on? You didn't know him. Your son didn't know him. Then he was at your house 2 days beforehand. Then we find out of an attempted kidnapping of a 2-year-old where you intervene and talk the man into not pressing charges. We then get wind that his mother, Mimi Brown, all this is alleged, called you to thank you via someone spinning this to us. But you never told the Daily Mail that you knew Darren Brown. Your son never told the Daily Mail that you knew Darren Brown. You never told the Daily Mail that you called 911 of a break-in 3 minutes after the child was discovered streets over. Why is that? 653, 650 are the lucky numbers for Dallas, Texas. 650, dead boy found in the street. 6:53 a.m., Miss Sherrod calls the police of a break-in, yet doesn't search her damn house for the children that she cares for and loves. Are you still with me? There are no words to describe how I feel right now. Utter disgust and disdain for your stringy-haired ass. Yeah, I said that. You are gutter. You are a gutter rat, lady. Because even if you play possum on this bit of tea, you still won't be able to explain to no walking sane human being why you didn't take a head count in your house if you were taking care of 6 kids, 4 your own, 2 belonging to Trevor Gernon and Melinda Seagroves. Very foul situation. And as I state, each day we get more information pertaining to the parties in this case. And it has been now alleged that you know Darren Brown, you and your son. It is also alleged that you had he and his brother stay at your home. I don't know if this is while you were incarcerated or while you were free, but it is alleged that they were in your house. The boys had trouble at home. I do not have verification of them staying in your, of them being having trouble with their own parents. This is what was alleged in a live the other night. As I state, everything is assumption, accusation, no verification. But the one thing we have set in stone is the affidavit police report. You called Dallas police that morning. So what I want to know is, what made you call? What did you hear that made you think someone broke into your dusty house? Did they take anything? And how ironic would it be that on the same morning you call, you end up getting up out your sleep, missing a 4-year-old, to have to call Dallas police, the sleepy police department, to come back to your house for a missing 4-year-old. I'll wait. Monica Sherrod, Cameron Morey, are you all involved in the death of Cash Gernon? Because it doesn't look any better for you two than it does for Darren Brown. Knife, no knife. Dreadlock, curly hair, whichsoever. Person outside a window. Person inside the room. You can't explain a 911 call that you did not verify to the public. You gave information to a tabloid paper from a whole nother country, and you failed to mention you knew him, your son knows him, you all dealt with him, he's been in your home before, and now a 911 call. Same morning, that boy goes missing from your dusty house. You're despicable. And this is why people assume that you and your son are involved in the kidnapping, death of Cash Gernon, because they found out that you lied about knowing DB. And what we have to ask ourselves is, what sane person would lie about knowing a suspect if they have no involvement in the crime of the child's death? So now, how do you think it looks, Ms. Sherrod? And the baffling part is that you didn't think anybody was going to ever find out that you've dealt with Darren Brown. You and your son, children, whichsoever. He's been in your home. His brother's been in your home. Slumbered in your house. So that means if they slumbered, they ate, they slept, they bathed. Allegedly. You're a piece of work, lady. You don't deserve one child in your possession. You don't even deserve a kitten. I wouldn't trust you with a kitty cat, a gerbil, a goldfish. The fish would find his way, toppled over day one. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to this information. Also, the information released by YT that Darren is seen in that said video returning to the home at 7:27 a.m. with an alleged knife in tow. Is that an actual knife in his hand? It's ridiculous to me. You want to donate to the channel, $, Big Angie 129, Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. I'm going to have to step out a minute, so bear with me. Hold on. I'm not going to be able to pull you up, honey, because I'm about to do something else. Hold on. Lord have mercy. It's just ridiculous. No, not even a goldfish. Sorry. I don't know. No thanks. Nothing she says matters to me at this point. I can't even get her to come up. Hold on a second. I'm having difficulties with this cursor for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Hold on one second. I'm going to come out for a minute. Thank you. This is a baffling situation. Thanks for your patience. I don't know what is going to become of this case. As I stated, it looks bad for Darren Brown with the new allegation against him, the new charge of attempted kidnapping of a child, girl child, back in February. And now this said information, you don't know what to think. Is that a knife that he's carrying in that video? Because see, all that's going to tie into if he is actually the culprit, the fall guy, the perpetrator. Was that a knife we saw in his hand in that video that morning when he returned to look over at Carter? Was his intention to return to kill that child? And now this new information of Miss Pussyfoot lying to the public about knowing Darren and calling and making a police report the same morning of a break-in at that said address. And that is the recap for those of you falling into the chat. Monica Sherrod is a liar, and she called 911 that same morning that the child was kidnapped out of that house. And her call went into the dispatch at 6:53 a.m. And at 6:50 a.m., a Black woman is calling the police to say she discovered a white baby boy in the street, blocks away. 6:50, child discovered, 911 call. 6:53, blocks away, Monica Sherrod phones Dallas Police Department for a break-in. Who broke in? What did they find? Which door did they enter? Did they enter through a window, a door, garage? How did they get in? What did they take? And why didn't you take a head count of your children in that house? You went back to sleep after the people left your house of an alleged break-in, same morning that the child is missing from the bedroom? So that means when you called 911 of a break-in, he was already gone out of the house. So that means you walked around your house with a 4-year-old missing and then carried your butt back to sleep, lady? Is that what you're telling America? Victim shaming. Nice try. Staged and planned. Hold on one second. Hold on a second, honey. Dropping the link. Please be respectful of the hostess, the mods, and the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jade. Queen, I applaud you for being so impartial in your first week. Thank you so much. I have my moments. You all know I have my moments. Hello, Charlene. How are you doing? Thank you. Hello, Tracy. Come back up, sweetheart. Sam, how you doing? Hello, Kimberly. Yes, it's 7:23, 7:27. It's the time that, yes, he entered back into the house. He's on camera at 7:27, contemplating what to do, I assume. Hello, little Miss Sunshine. How you doing, baby? If you know that you are an infiltrator, you've talked about me, there's no way in hell you're coming up on this live stream. I don't play them kind of games. And I done told you I'm not what you want. Get somewhere. And kick rocks with Monica Sherrod.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today? Thanks for joining me.
Oh,
honey, did I wake the dead up this evening?
Yes.
Thank another YouTuber for that 411, baby.
Wow, that is this is planned and staged. I tell every day it's gonna be something new. Every day. The truth is gonna come out. The truth, little by little, is coming out. That makes no freaking sense. That's crazy. I'm not in shock because they've already said all these lies and have made excuses for all their lying. They've made excuses for their lying. And this is, oh my goodness. I'm waiting for more people to be arrested. I'm so mad right now.
I know.
I'm so mad.
Explain to me, well, if you can, because the part that I hated to even hear, it's bad enough you got a person that's breaking in houses, cars, lurking, very creepy behavior. Because I thought about that late last night when I went to bed this morning. I was creeped out with knowing this person is creeping around people's yards and homes and breaking and entering, and boldness to walk in your house. It takes a very bold, brazen human to walk in your house. Be it the door was unlocked, they jimmied the door, went through a window, garage, it doesn't matter. You're brave as hell. And it's scary to think a person would have that little respect for you to break in your house, walk in your house, however they get in. But the part I'm baffled and confused is the knife. There's people running the video on YouTube with the picture blowed up of, it looks like something's in Darren, his hand.
Yeah. But
and in my mind, I'm telling myself, please tell me this is not a knife. You understand what I'm saying?
To me, it doesn't look like a knife because the way that he's holding it is like you would hold a blunt or something like that. The way he's holding it. Because he's holding it by two fingers. He's not holding it by his whole hand. He's not gripping it like he's getting ready to stab something. He's not holding it like that. He's not holding the knife regular, if that's a knife. To me, it looks like he's holding it, like I said, like a blunt or something like that. Because he's holding it with two fingers.
A black and mild, it's not a black and mild blunt. It's not that big.
Yeah, but you can make it big. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can roll it.
Queen don't.
I don't think it's a knife, because if it was a knife, why is he just holding it by he's holding it by two fingers. He's not holding it with at least four fingers. He's not holding it right. He doesn't have a tight grip. How about that?
Okay, but you know what? This is what's been saying about everything pertaining to hair, mask, this, that, hoodie, backpack, socks, shoes, somebody standing out the window. That's why I said what one person sees, another person doesn't see.
Yeah.
So you don't see a knife, but somebody else sees a knife. You see where I'm going?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it is Crystal Moore up here. I'm trying to get this thing banner off of here. I can't get it.
Don't mess with it.
My luck. This something about this room. It won't let me sit over there and go live. It's like I got to be closer over here to go live. It's very strange. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. That is the news. Let me recap those, because I got 172 in who probably don't know what the hell we're talking about. The smoking gun is Miss Monica Sherrod called law enforcement the same morning the child was missing out of the house. So when she made her phone call at 6:53 to the Dallas Police Department, The child in the other room, other side of the house, Cash Gernon, was already removed from the house, allegedly. But he had to be gone because if she called at 6:53 a.m., a black woman discovered that child blocks away at 6:50 a.m. So that means police came out, allegedly, and she did whatever she did and did not take a head count of her children and those two boys inside of her home. And she went back to sleep, allegedly. And someone woke her up, be it Cameron or Carter. And that's when the ball got crunk with the disappearance of Cash Gernon. There's nothing I believe is the truth out of that woman's mouth. Anything she has mentioned to the Daily Mail pertaining to how she met Trevor, how long they dated, when she got the kids, him bringing the kids by periodically to stay, he left in February. I don't believe anything she has to say. Because if you lie about knowing that black kid, you'll lie about anything else.
Amen. There it is there.
Question themselves, why would you lie about knowing him? Why would you lie about knowing him? You have nothing to hide. Your son has nothing to hide. Your children have nothing to hide. Why are you going to lie about some guy that we now find out has been in your home, staying in your home? His brother has stayed in your home, allegedly. For whatever reasons. You intervene on his behalf when he attempted to steal a child out of a man's house back in February. You don't know him, though. But the census says you do. The neighbors say you do. People are coming out saying your son's been hanging with this kid damn near half a year ago. Which is it? They were friends, they weren't. Your other son was his friend, he wasn't. You knew him, you didn't. He stayed in your house, he didn't. Your house is a safe house, it ain't. Your house is not a safe house.
It sure isn't.
Your house is a flop house. And probably worse than that. If the bones decide to continue to slide out from underneath the closet door.
That's right.
7:27 a.m. Darren Brown, if we are to believe that it's him, is shown on the camera returning back to the house, if indeed he is the first person to take the child. He returns nearly 2 hours later. Why? Doesn't do anything to the child, but touches the child's head, looks around, mumbles something, leave out of the room. Child unscathed, left unharmed. Why did he return? And why are we now finding out you called the police that same morning to file a break-in report and didn't take a head count of those kids? That leads me to think there's hanky-panky set up, something going on with all of you all.
Yep. And with that being said, at 6:53, if he comes back at 7:20 supposedly or whatever, that's what, a 20-minute difference. You mean to tell me that you didn't check on your kids or anything, but you went back to sleep, and you fell back to sleep within 20 minutes and didn't hear him come back a second time?
Or
that makes sense.
Or you were doing other facetious things inside the house to tidy up.
Yep.
That's my thing.
More and more lies is coming out.
Okay, hi chat, hi Queen, hi Crystal, hey everybody.
How you doing?
Now remember,
hi.
Remember in Cameron's video, he claimed that, when Cash supposedly woke them up, he went running around the neighborhood and he saw the police down the street. He didn't go all the way down there. I believe that he was just sitting waiting for them. Once they came, he went back and he let Monica know. And that's when she called the police to throw it off. Monica never went back to sleep, you guys. Monica wasn't asleep.
I'm sure she didn't.
Yep.
I don't believe
Not the way
Monica
she
was.
talked in that video. Hell no, she didn't go back to sleep.
Oh no.
I don't believe Monica was asleep when Cash was taken out of that crib.
Probably wasn't.
Monica and Cameron is a part of this, and they had to make sure they put DB on that video when he came to the house. And to me, when he was seen on that video, I think that's when he possibly came to the house then.
Yeah. So you don't think he was already there?
No. Because now, if you listen to Cameron's, he said he ran around that night. He made sure he said, I had no shirt on. I had no shoes on. You claim you was up, but DB is fully dressed. Wouldn't he be halfway dressed too if he was supposedly there all that time?
Not at the setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like no. And it stays in my mind when Monica did her interview. They took him. They
by car.
No. She was just saying they.
Oh, they took him. Okay, that comment. Okay.
She didn't say he. She said they. And who's to say? Let's be for real, you guys. Think about this too. Who's to say Monica and Cameron wasn't in the car and they saw and they drove back to the house and she called the police? So you got to think about that too, because like I said,
say that again.
Who's to say Monica and Cameron was down the street sitting in the car, waited, and they saw, and they went back home, and then she called the police, saying there's a break-in in her house.
Okay, but let's think about that for a second too. How stupid are you going to look to call, and then hours later the child's missing? So that means, you, as I just said, you didn't take a head count.
That's the main thing. Yes, you didn't take a head count.
For break-in, and you don't even check your children's rooms. Everybody's accounted for. Your mama, daddy, or whoever the hell was standing there, Pookie, Ray, Shamika. You just decided, oh, somebody broke in. What made you think somebody broke in? What did you hear that alluded to the fact someone had broken into your house? What did the police find?
I think that was the cover-up to call the police. Somebody broke in my house.
But wait a minute. Cock-a-doodle-doo. You forgot to tell that to the Daily Mail.
And let's be clear. Did the police really come to her house? According to them, it takes 30 minutes, and now all the police down there at the baby's body.
Allegedly, sweetheart, when you call them, we just assuming they came. We don't know. We don't know anything with this chick.
No, we don't.
How about that?
No, we do not.
She's 35 years old. You old looking for 35.
Right.
Life has been unkind to you, Monica Lewinsky.
Okay.
In the bed house. You's a dirty lady. You and that bobblehead son of yours. God don't like ugly.
That's why she couldn't get her life straight on who woke her up. That still stays in my mind. First, she says Cameron woke her up, went in the room, and Carter told him that Cash went outside. And then she turns around and says, "Oh, when the 911 when they called, or when I was talking to 911, they asked me, well, when did you miss Cash missing? When did you notice Cash missing?" And then she says, "Immediately when Carter woke me up." So she had two different statements. Two different. She can't keep her lies straight.
Now,
Lola says she got some mileage. Yes, she does. Oh, not a dirty cow. Shut your mouth.
Yes.
Because what you have to tell yourself is a person entering your home brazenly, for one, but then daylight savings time and walking around, and you have several people in your house who can get up at any time of day they want. That is the riskiest thing ever.
It sure is.
To walk around the house daylight time, not night, not wee hours, but daylight.
And he was walking very
He
comfortably.
walked that house like he knew that house. Like
Yes.
he knew nobody was going to get up. Shut up, Queen.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't know who woke her up, Flouncy. We don't know.
Walking through that maze. He knew his way through that maze. There's no way that you're gonna walk in there, break into somebody's house, and they got a maze like that. You got to figure out which way to go. There's nah.
Thank you.
There's no way.
Mhm.
He's been there.
Yvette makes a good point. She already knew the baby was dead.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
That's so sad.
and I'm still waiting for the medical examiner to give a guesstimate of time of death. You notice they have not released that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they can do that with the body temperature and everything. But
Yeah.
they have not released that.
But maybe they're trying to get all of their evidence. They're trying to get everything solid so that nobody can get out of this. And I think that's what they're doing. But they're working on it. I feel like they're working on it pretty fast because look how fast. I mean, this case has hit social media and everything else.
Well, Dee, let me ask you this: do you think that was a knife he had in the second video?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I remember when I had said it about a week ago or something. I said that's too little. It looked like a cigarette or something.
Yeah, he's holding it with two fingers.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a grip on it.
The police called Night Owl. It was at 6:53. He didn't come till 7:27. So he came shortly after. They would have left, I guess, or if they even came. We don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just reading back what I saw on another channel.
Right.
The police report.
Oh, like how you say Vivalin? Oh, that's a different way to spell it. She says, I think it was like a vape pen because you're holding it with two fingers.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, like a vape pen or a cigarette or blunt, something like that.
That's the thing about not being able to see everything. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But the way he held
once
it.
Again, no timestamps on the video. Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do believe from the time she called, it's 6:53 till she called him again, 10:48, they was getting their story straight. They was cleaning up whatever that was in that house.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
That's what I believe. And like this Darren, of course I'm proud of everybody. I didn't do that. I didn't, but who's to say that boy is not telling the truth?
Your mind can play tricks on you, especially in the dark.
Yep.
Again, what did you say? How did he get through the house in the dark with the baby? No sound. I don't know very loud.
Yeah, I want to see what the excuse for this one is.
Yeah.
You got an excuse for everything else.
Okay, somebody is saying, Jay is basically saying the police never came for the other people called. She knew they probably wouldn't come. So you can factor in that. Possibly they didn't even show up, but I can't see them not coming in for a break-in. I can't see that. I can't see, yeah, somebody just broke into my house. Please get here, hurry.
It depends on how she said it on the 911. And like I said, the police was too busy down there with poor baby Cash.
Mm-hmm. And she could have said, yeah, somebody broke into my house. And then they say, well, is the intruder still there? No, he's gone.
And okay, then we'll send someone momentarily.
We'll send someone. Yeah. But it's not going to be a rush thing because the intruder's already gone.
Right.
Okay. But then let's think about how risky this is. What I'm getting ready to say that you already know. If the call went in at 6:53, the place is far out in the county, then that means Darren took a chance going back in when the police could have showed up. Shut up.
Thank you.
7:27. So 27, Dougie Fresh, 7:27.
Yep.
Think about it.
30 minutes.
7:27 from 6:53 is not a lot of time.
It sure isn't.
That's a hell of a risk to double back.
Yep.
Not knowing once again who's going to be at the house.
Right. That's why I've said, and I'm going to stand on it, like I said, until they prove. I don't believe Darren killed that poor baby. I don't.
Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised he didn't even have nothing to do with the after moments too. Of them, dumping the body.
Lakeisha, that's the point. The calls are coming in at least 3 minutes apart. One's going in about a dead baby. One's going in about a break-in. And the one going in about the break-in is 3 minutes after, pertaining to the character of the dead baby in the street that lady's calling about 3 minutes before. Put that out. Make some sense.
Yep. Yep.
Tracy says, I'm going to need video footage of him actually committing the crime. Well, one crime, they got him on. If they want to say that's him, he took a kid. And it's what I've always told you. They can say, I don't need no video footage of him killing the kid. You took him so I can use my imagination. Whatever happened to him is still on you. Even if you placed him with somebody else, you still unrightfully took them out that house.
Right. And if they did have video of him killing the kid, he would be already charged with murder. Point blank.
Yep. Yep.
So you can forget that.
Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the smoking gun of the police report. That is what I have revealed in this said live stream tonight. Monica Sherrod called the police on the same morning at 6:53 a.m. of a break-in at her said Florina Parkway home. And at 6:50, a woman calls 911 to discover a child lying in the street, 3 minutes apart each phone call to the Dallas Police Department.
Oh,
poor Cash. Poor Cash.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
I'm serious. When I saw that link and I went in there, I went right in and hit it, and I saw that, I kept rewinding. Make sure I was writing everything down, and I was telling myself, I know I'm not writing this down here. This is ridiculous.
Wait a minute, and Queen, I was watching my TikTok videos, and as soon as I saw every day, I clicked. I ain't gonna miss this one.
You got a notification?
It came on my screen.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
And see, last night I was so mad that I missed that one.
That one was on. I got a little better there near the end. Excuse my man.
Y'all was on fire.
Before I sat in this house all day today listening to the lives of the past couple of days. And when I tell you, y'all had me in here screaming, you would think y'all was sitting right here in this living room with me in my bedroom. I was in there hollering. I said, "Ooh, them queens know they know how to show out on them lives, baby."
Oh my goodness. Every live I miss, I go back and I play it. I'm like, I ain't missing nothing. But yeah, back to that. And with this neighbor, you gotta wonder what type of relationship they had for him to not, want to press charges.
Don't say that, Lakeisha. He gonna get justice. Just hold on. Hold on.
And then with the district attorney, them, why don't you guys just pick that case up anyway? Because you can. So this whole neighborhood is a mess.
Well, they don't have ducks in a row. That's the problem with this neighborhood. They don't have ducks in a row. They're scaredy cats. They don't know how to put their foot down. I'm a homeowner. You gonna do something about what I'm talking about on my land. I'm not paying you money to stay here, and then something happens. I can't even call you and get you to come out to the house. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
No, thanks. Thanks for joining me.
But I can get you to come out because
thank you for having me, Queen.
Okay, how are you today?
Doing well. Hey, Crystal, what's going on?
Oh yeah, Crystal. She jumped down. That's Dee Dee.
Oh, she jumped down.
Yeah, Miss Dee Dee's up in the house.
Oh, we can't see her name, so that's Miss Dee Dee. Okay.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Well,
doing well. Thank you.
What do you have to add to the news?
I don't have anything to add, really. I just came up for support because there's, there's just so many things, in between two stories lies the truth, and
that's why I said it's your side, his side, and the truth.
And I wanted to give Monica the benefit of the doubt, but again, as an investigator and as a person who has to keep people arm's distance, because you get too close to somebody, then you kind of put a biasness onto the case. If you're trying to deduce a video of what her interview looked like, but you're advocating for her, then that makes your deduction biased. So therefore, the story gets conflicted when it's coming from the information we got slowly. You know, unfortunately, I had to put out some information to get the ball rolling. And once the ball was rolling, then we started getting the answers we needed. And it's unfortunate, but it's all part of the game, number one. And number two, if you're guilty, I don't want to be a part of somebody who could be possibly a part of murdering a child, number one, let alone be a part of a family that has so much going on with it. And now we see, you know, the Pinkertons being attacked, and it looks like it's just to deflect off the Monica situation. When the Pinkertons aren't at fault, she's just as at fault. If they want to go into the, you know, stating that Leslie's the ones who brought the kids in, Darian,
you're getting foreign.
Darian and Alex, when I guess the other channel was talking about Leslie, Pinkerton is the one who brought in Darian and his brother for the 10 months of school where they lived in that household.
So who's Miss Pinkerton?
Right. We noticed now when I brought out the information about, you know, the certain things that were going on. She's the mother of Monica.
Yeah, the parents.
So do you have a real receipt that this lady took those kids in that house?
I never heard anything about that. What I was told when the other channel and I were talking, and we were working together on this, through the text messages and things that I was being told, exactly the stuff she was feeding. I listened to some phone conversations as well. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
That you heard through conversations on the phone that she did take the boys in at that house on Florina Park.
I heard from the other channel. I heard that they were, yes, I heard that both the parents took, not just Leslie. I heard her and Kurt took in Darian and Alex because they were getting beaten. That was the original story.
Where did she take
That's what to Monica, where Monica resides now. I guess apparently Monica was in jail.
Okay.
So I guess Monica was in jail at that time. So
So this is just something you heard off of somebody's through a phone, via phone call. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this is why that they were taken in originally. Now it's changed to the story that they were taken in for a whole year of schooling, which we found out on your show yesterday, for 10 months. To that house before Monica came home. So the story has changed multiple times on multiple levels. And unfortunately, I had to back and step away because I couldn't fend for somebody, let alone try to advocate for people when we're trying to get down to finding out what happened to Cash. Cash is the important thing here. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about all the other YouTubers. It's not about Monica's feelings. It's not about anyone's feelings right now. It's about Cash, and Cash is what's important. He's the one.
Well, he's the only victim.
He is the one that has suffered through this. You know, and Carter, poor Carter. Think about his brother, who is his twin, who did everything with him. And I'm sorry I get emotional and angry at the same time, and I lose my train of thought. But think about what's important. Who's important right now? It's not Monica. It's not defending anyone right now besides Cash and his situation and justice for Cash.
That's why you're supposed to gather information first before taking a side. I mean, sometimes it's easy to side with people depending on what you hear. And as I've always stated, what you hear and see, I don't. So that's where the biasness comes in. People already start forming their opinions of a situation and just start saying, well, I know it's this. No, I know it's this, when really they don't know anything.
Right. And again, and a lot of us, and you look back to the West case, where we look at the initial video of the West, and everyone's pointing the fingers immediately. And then it took so long before the fingers stopped pointing at them. And then it started pointing other directions, that there could be other options. It's the same kind of thing. It's the pointing of the fingers. And what happens is that she went too fast. I think she went to the Daily Mail too quickly. I think she should have gone to why not? If you're gonna do any kind of
Hold on
media,
one second. Hold on. So
yeah, no problem.
you went to them. They didn't go to her.
I don't know how that worked out, actually. I know that I was told that she didn't take any money for it. This is just hearsay from what I was told from her,
Yes,
from the other channel. But I think you would go to the news. I think you would go to, like, if you're going to use mainstream media at all, why not go to Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 2?
I'm going to go right in town where I live. What the hell?
Why would you go to the UK? Why would you go to the UK where they're not going to help or be able to have the tools that we have here in the States, because a lot their internet's even different. They can't even get what we have in real time. They have to get it from us, other YouTubers. A lot of the people in the UK and different countries don't have the ability to even search the Google the same way as we do.
Well, I tell you what, that same paper will put her to shreds once they find out about that phone call to the police department.
Yeah, and I found out about that really early. I found out that hours and hours and hours and hours ago. I just didn't know how to bring that out, because to put that, I'm glad you brought it out, because I saw the other.
I was like Ryan Dean. I ran out of breath.
Well, I appreciate that, and you know what I do. What I do appreciate about you too is that the no nonsense that you deal with it, and it comes across as maybe because you're angry at this. It's because we all get tired of it's not an endless lead, but it's an endless conversation. You know what I mean? So
yes, when you talk about mayhem all the time, it's daunting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Giselle. Thank you so much, honey. It's daunting, and it's really daunting when you have to feel like you have to argue with somebody about something that neither party knows about. I'm just the type of person, I go on gut instinct. My gut instinct usually serves me right. And when I see that something's not right, I roll with that until I see otherwise. And when I see otherwise, and I can say, well, that isn't what I thought. And then you can't do nothing but accept it.
And if we were wrong at the end of the day, I have no problem in any of the cases that I work for any of the videos that I make. If I put out something that's way off the rockers, or way off, point, or way wrong, I have no problem grounding myself, because I'm a grounded, humble person, and make a video and say, hey, this is what I was wrong about. Hey, I was wrong. I was totally wrong on this one.
In the end, it's your opinion. Now, how you word things can be considered, more hype and sensationalism, because, I'm a bit animated. I'm a little more calm right now because I'm so disgusted. I'm literally, I could just pop up and shoot to the ceiling. But it's an opinion. You either take it or leave it. And everybody out here is entitled to his or her opinion.
At the end of the day, yes, we're all entitled to our opinion. But again, we can't be the judge, the jury, the executioner. We have to bring out what we can and what we know, because what we can, with the information that we do get, if it comes from somewhere close, with that information, we can expand on it, and it helps with everybody's eyes on it. And if only one person knows, and they're either advocating for them or trying to keep that out of the limelight because it has nothing to do with the case, then everything becomes biased in nature. And so we have to stay away from our biasness, and we getting too close and too friendly with people. When you can get that, establish that bond, if they want to tell you something, let them tell you slowly, but don't get all this information and enough of it's relevant to move forward to the next step, and hold off on that information. And again, I'm glad that the information came out the way it did, even with the repercussions it came with. I'm still glad we were able to.
That's the one thing I've learned about life, is that you live and learn in dealing with people. I tell people that all the time in my lives, is that you're not going to know anything until you put your foot in the water. And that's just the way it goes. You can meet people and think they're the best, they're friendly, they're kind. And then one day you talking to them, it's like you're talking to Satan himself. It's just the way it is.
You fight for so long. You fight for so long about when somebody takes an opposite stance against you, and starts pointing the finger at you and trying to make it about you, or trying to defame you. It's just a mechanism, and I don't blame anybody like that. I don't hold disregard to that other channel. Like I said, I hope he finds his own peace in whatever he's advocating for. But again, if we're trying to get to the bottom, if we're trying to get to a bottom of a case, I advocate for our community and I advocate for cash ultimately. So if I have information, I'm going to bring that information and set information out immediately because I need all eyes and all help. And I'm not greedy. I want everyone to make a channel. Everybody keep these people in the light and we can get answers that way.
This is a tragic case. And in the end, it's like all the other cases of missing people, deceased people, children. It is about them and them only, not anyone's attitude, likes, views, want to be seen, heard. It is about the decedent. It is about the missing. They are the important ones. And I always say that you can tell plight when they talk about a subject matter. If you watch people long enough, you will know their true intention. That's why I tell people to just listen sometimes. Don't say nothing, just watch. And people will tell themselves.
I want to say thank you to your mods, and you guys do a great job. The mods every night, every time. And you got a great group of community people that come into your room. And I just really want to give a big thumbs up to everybody in the chat and who comes and watches our stuff and watches this type of material, because every time you watch it, it puts this name in your mouth or whatever case we're working. And I appreciate all of you guys in the chat and everybody who watches our stuff and anything you guys do. So thank you. You guys are just as important as we are. So thank you.
No thanks. I hope everything works out in your favor. God is good and know that he's able.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And God bless all you guys. And thanks for having me on. And justice for Cash Gernon, and you guys. Yes. And Carter, and justice for Carter as well.
Yes, prayers for him because he's going to need it, because he's my main concern too. I'm worried about his well-being because now he's left alone without that little person beside him.
One thing I wouldn't mind finding a way to raise money, maybe a PayPal pool where we can show receipts. Maybe we can get something together for Carter, because it doesn't seem like he's got very many backbones in his life.
Right.
So if we could talk about that behind the scenes.
Who's gonna be the one? Somebody's got to be over.
He's gonna need therapy and everything. So let's talk behind the scenes. We'll call me later or whatever, but let's talk behind the scenes and try to find out a way. Maybe we can get any help from you guys. Maybe set up something. We can get something set up for in Cash's name towards Carter. I think that would be important, you guys.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, Doug.
Thank you, Queen. Later, guys.
Have a great week. Happy Memorial Day.
Likewise. I'll be covering the Memorial Day out here at a beautiful cemetery. So if you guys want to tune into the channel tomorrow, you're welcome to. If you want to restream it to your channel. I don't care. Thank you guys, and God bless.
Thank you so much, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Mr. No Thanks out of California. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all for following the Queen. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live 251 viewing. Thank you. The spoken word is out. Monica Sherrod, the caretaker of Cash and Carter Gernon, made a phone call to the police department on the same morning that Cash was kidnapped and murdered. She made a call, went in at 6:53 to the dispatch. At 6:50 blocks away, an African-American woman discovered the child in the street. 3 minutes. 3 minutes of difference. She never checked her house to see that Cash was missing. 9 times out of 10, he was already gone. He had to be gone because at 6:50 blocks away, he was discovered in a street. She makes a phone call at 6:53, 3 minutes later, to the dispatch police department of a break-in. So that means he was already kidnapped, already decedent, when Monica Sherrod called Dallas Police Department to say that someone had broken into her home. And I'd like to know, who broke in? What made you think someone broke in? Did the cops show up? What did they find? And what was their commentary when they returned hours later with the news of the dead baby blocks over belonging to you, Monica Sherrod? Oh, if the walls could talk. Thank you, Miss Sunshine. You're a dirty lady. You are a disgusting and vile creature. And I can say that. Because this looks like an ultimate setup, ultimate plan to get rid of an innocent child for whatever reason. Because there's no way you didn't know that boy wasn't gone out of that house before you made the 11 o'clock call, 10:50 something, 58, 48, 10:48. You called about Cash being missing. But you had to know he was gone at 6 o'clock in the morning before 7 a.m. Because that's telling us, the public, that when you called about the break-in at 6:53 a.m., you didn't walk around your house to make sure everyone was accounted for in that house. You didn't go room to room. Let me check for the babies. Let me check for them babies. I love them. They're like my own. You never loved them. You never loved them. You don't love the kids that you brought here because you don't love yourself. And I hope to God you are not with child as the rumors are circulating. No way in hell you should have your legs open for sex. Close them. Do yourself a favor and the world a favor. Keep your legs closed and get you some birth control pills or method. Your vow. Drop the link, Crystal. Not out, please. Anyone wants to hit the link to give their commentary on the news and the discovery that Monica Sherrod called the Dallas Police Department with an alleged break-in call. What happened? Did they show up? How did they break in? What was taken? Was anything removed from the home? How did the intruder get in? Is it an actual break-in? Is this the ultimate setup for Darren Brown to take the fall? Was he in cahoots with this? Because as I state, 6:53, her call goes into the dispatch. 6:50, 3 minutes before, an African-American woman calls the police to say she's discovered a child dead in the street. Some of you believe they lied in wait, watched the commotion down the street, doubled back, and then made that ultimate phone call of a break-in. You were setting the scene of the kidnapping and death of Cash Gernon. Is that what you did? Because if you did, you are a lowlife, a bottom feeder. And you're no different than the other nasty, vile people who kill kids and kill their own children. Adoptive children, foster children. There's no hope for you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, baby.
My Wi-Fi all messed up. Ooh.
You know how mine acts up. Look, I'm looking forward to Tuesday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Get it together. Thanks for joining me.
I'm just so mad right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm just so mad right now.
Yeah, because usually you be a little crunk.
You know what? I'm doing everything in my power to hold my tongue and just. I'm just gonna keep waiting for every day is gonna come. Every day something new is gonna come out. But what makes me even more mad is how people continue to make excuses for the whole situation. That's what makes me the most mad. You know why? Because we're supposed to be standing here for the kids, right? Kids only, not the adults. Quit making excuses for these adults. This is why it continues to happen, because we continue. No, not me. Y'all continue, not you, Queen, but you know what I'm talking. Y'all continue to make excuses for the situation, and it's going to continue. Every day we're going to have something new. Every day. and they're going to just continue to make excuses for this. It's unexcusable. It's unexcusable. And you know, I'm really pissed right now. I'm heated. I'm heated because I see kids like this.
Crystal, are you listening, dear?
Ooh, I'm trying.
Like minds.
Yeah, yeah.
Birds of a feather.
Yes. This is disgusting to me. It really is. It's disgusting that these people continue to make excuses for these grown people. You're going to continue to make excuses for this? Are you serious? Are you this can't be real right now that people continue to make excuses. It's unreal.
I can't wait to hear what somebody gonna be talking about here in the next 2 minutes.
It's unreal. This,
guys.
I'm glad my mind ain't like that.
Come talk to the queen. Tell the queen what you're thinking about information. Get the link. Come on.
This is just, it's sickening. It's sickening. And the people that want to make excuses, y'all sickening too. Period.
Well, you're just like them.
That's period.
You're just like them.
Yep.
You see, you identify with her, Miss.
Yes.
I keep forgetting her name, Monica.
Yeah.
You identify with her because obviously you two have something in common. So you don't mind riding the ride with her. But as I said to you all last night, tell me how it smells down there in the belly of the beast. I'll wait.
Yep. Yep. And I'm not saying that Darren Brown, he didn't have anything to do with this or anything like that. And this sure is no race thing either for the one that wants to throw out there that this is a race thing. It has nothing to do with
nobody mentioned race. I've never mentioned race, so we're not going to even go there.
Somebody did mention that. So I just wanted to address that. It's not.
Well, you need not address it.
This is unreal.
I've never mentioned race pertaining to this
not you
on my channel. No. Oh, I'm just saying in general. So we're not going to discuss it because it was never mentioned.
All right.
We're not going to go there with these heathens.
Yes. Yep. Just every day we're just gonna sit every day and just continue to let everything unfold, and the truth gonna come out, and there's gonna be more arrest. It is not just gonna be one.
And someone is saying in the chat, child endangerment for Trevor, Monica.
Yep.
All of them need to be strung up together. That's
right. That's right. Point blank. Period. No free passes for none of them. Ain't nobody getting a free pass. No, nobody gets a free pass.
Look at you, Mayweather. You ready to fight?
I am. I really am. Hey, I feel bad.
Don't do it. Don't put them gloves on, little bitty. You ain't nothing but an itty bitty spider. Ooh. They don't know. They don't know how to sing what you look like.
Here I was cooking my dinner. I done burnt that up. Just because
you too little to be trying to put on some boxing gloves. Look, girl, you crazy.
Ooh, this is just disgusting.
I don't know this girl. I don't know anything about those folks.
It's disgusting to me.
It's about Monica's family, mama, daddy. I don't know anything about those people. I don't know anything about what allegedly they did for Darren, his brother. If that's actually true, they took him in. I have no knowledge of any of that. No receipts. I know nothing about those people. I don't know about this heifer we talking about right here. How about that?
Yeah.
It's on social media. It's on an affidavit, crazy lady. It's on arrest report. Not arrest report, but a report. You file when you make a report to the police department.
Yeah, well, this is... All right, y'all keep on making excuses if you want to. I'm not making excuses for her.
Vinny said my money on Crystal. Hey, this is Mayweather Part 2. You just don't know. Shut your mouth. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the new information that has been leaked out to the public that Monica Sherrod called 911 for a break-in at her said Florina Parkway house the same morning the child was discovered dead blocks away. The call went in at 6:53 a.m. to the police department. The child was discovered at 6:50 a.m. by a woman. Public street.
Unreal. If that don't wake you up,
Yeah, you got to be all woke today, honey.
If that don't wake you up, we can just bypass the video, the black and white video, the color video. We can bypass all the videos. We can even bypass the interview if y'all want to. Now what about the time? Make this make sense. We can bypass everything that we've talked about, everything. Now make this make sense. It doesn't. And you can't make sense. There's no excuse for this one. None. Don't go say, it's time change, and time change is way back. Don't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah.
No, this is unreal. I hope they all are arrested. And baby Cash, he gets justice.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take a breath. I'm gonna take a breath.
Okay, Black Angel, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm great. What do you have to say about the discovery of this information?
One, it's a surprise. So maybe that's why when he came back, Darren, when he came back to
the house,
that he looked like someone let him in. You know how he came in so casually?
But that's the point of the video. It doesn't look like an abduction, a pre-abduction, a setup to an abduction. It looked like somebody went in, checked on the kid, rubbed their head, looked around, and walked back out, mumbled something. So you don't really know.
Yes. For me, the very first time, I felt that it was an abduction. The second time, I didn't feel that way. But in his hand, he did have a knife. I think, did you see that when he came in the second time, he had something in his hand?
Yeah, I just discussed that. I asked the chat, do they believe it was a knife or not? Crystal says no. I don't know if it was a knife. I saw it on somebody else's channel. They had it blowed up, and the first thing I thought was, dear God, this is all you need, more negativity for this boy. If he indeed is this stalker, sadist, you're just brazen, to go. Look, you're brazen to mess with people's properties, period. Walk in their house, break in their house, jimmy the door, kick the door, whatever the hell's your problem, you're wrong. But to kill a child, so that's what I'm trying to differentiate. Is he this burglar, thief / baby killer? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. You know what? I agree with you 110%. It just seems to me that all of a sudden now Darren has become like the scapegoat, for everything that's gone wrong. Not to say that he did not do it,
but we don't know yet.
What bothers me is that we don't know, but I'm assuming that he did. But
this information about the call to 911 puts a new spin on everything.
It really does.
That means you didn't check the house to see where your children were.
Thank you. I mean, why are you so?
He was gone. He was gone when she made the phone call to the dispatch at 6:53. He was already gone, and you didn't even go around the house to look to see if any of your children were safe. So that would lead one to think that this is a setup, because why wouldn't you go room to room? That's when you would have discovered he was gone. Oh, by the way, somebody broke in my house and my child's ready.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And that's why I said that when the second time he came back, he looked like someone let him in. He looked like he came in very casually the second time. So I don't know, maybe she let him in and said, someone broke into my home, and he walks in and he looks at Carter. And I think that's why he probably didn't take Carter, because she's letting him in. And like you said, any good mother. Now, first she said she was asleep. Okay. She said she didn't hear anything. Now she's saying, well, you know what? At 6-something a.m., she was awake. She dealt with, she called about the break-in, but she didn't report her surrogate son missing or gone. And then here you have Darren kind of walking in around the time where we all said, why doesn't he have a mask on? Why isn't he in disguise? He actually looks like he just someone let him in. And so now the question becomes, okay, so here's Cameron. Cameron is perusing the street with his shorts on and no socks and no shoes, and no shirt. You have Darren inside the house with a knife. You have her on the phone and then you have Cash, who's unfortunately deceased. Then you have her saying, "Well, someone's broken into my home." And they still, and to be honest with you, they still haven't said whether or not she reported Cash missing or not. Even after the break-in, you would think that she would have called back to back and said, "Hey, but my child is missing as well. I need help." So I don't know.
You're not going to do that, but you're not going to do that if this was a setup. Why am I going to do that if I set it up?
That's what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, it can't be the truth. I mean, it's very rarely is that done, but most parents, you have a camera in your child's room. That means that
hold on, slow down. Sammy Nicole, police reports are public information, so it's not leaked. Any report you make to the police department is public information. Go ahead, finish, honey.
You have baby monitors on your two little ones. You are obviously concerned about their well-being, but you never report anyone missing. It just doesn't make sense. And then you have Darian in the house.
That shows you that she doesn't care. She didn't think it out thoroughly. You can't call 911 at 6:53, wake up at 10 o'clock, and then call at 10:48 saying your child is missing.
Yes.
Because the first thing the police are going to say, "Well, we just left your house earlier, ma'am. You didn't think to check the bedrooms to check and see if your children were okay?"
That's right.
That's why I told you something was up with the articles that were coming out last week with the commentary. The police is trying to figure out how was she able to identify Darren in the said commentary in the video. But then we got Miss Wise. But then Miss Wise is saying the lieutenant, "Oh, he's the one that did it. He's the sole one. He's the only one responsible." So one is saying, "Are you saying that so they can loop the other people in, or is she really saying she thinks he did this by himself?"
Yes, and then the part what got me was when I think it was Benny who said that in his conversation with her, she said that she came to his rescue on more than one occasion. I don't know about you, but if someone broke into your home, I don't care what's going on, you call the police if someone is trying to steal your child. First of all, just being in your home, more or less, someone stealing your grandchild. And so now 2 or 3 months later, you now report it?
I never said the information was leaked. What are you talking about? Please stop. Just stop it.
What was leaked? Hello?
I told people in the beginning of this live, I got information from a channel. It's all affidavit with the police report. It's a police report, and all police reports are public information. So if you have a problem with this, you can call the Dallas Police Department, Harris County, and get the said information of the affidavit.
I didn't say anything about that.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, when Benny Keys, okay, and so when you have the old man reporting now that Darren came into his home and assaulted him and tried to kidnap his granddaughter, I don't know why would they just kind of sidestep just rationale and say, well, you know what? Since Monica said not to do it, I won't do it. There's no way in the world I would concede to anything like that. It's like,
okay, so
no.
let's address why he didn't file charges then.
That's what I mean. Like, who is Monica? Monica, I mean, look at her home. She looks like a meth.
But scratch her. He's still an adult.
Yes, I know.
And the story wasn't about Monica then. It was about his grandbaby. So in the end, he was the responsible one that should have filed charges.
Right. That's what I mean. Is who is Monica? Obviously, people know Monica. Obviously, Monica has been an intricate part when it comes to Darian Brown and his behavior, because she's literally taking responsibility for his behavior. And I don't know where mom and dad is, but there's no way I would take responsibility for someone who's not mentally well. It's time to go talk to the parents. It's time to go talk to mom and dad. Look, this is what's going on. This is what I see that's going on. He comes over, he wants to live with me. She's allowed him to live in her home. How are you going to allow someone to live in your home and they're not yours? You don't have no legal rights to these kids. If something really were to happen to these children, there's going to be a huge problem, even to Cash and Carter. I mean, it's just unreal. This is just unreal. It doesn't. It's like it shouldn't be. I don't know. I just don't think that this would be happening in that type of neighborhood. I don't know why. I just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Well,
We look at Monica.
Listen, maybe there's a certain type of mindset in that neighborhood. Did that ever occur to you?
I know, but what mindset is that? Trust.
You do know that mindset. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know that. You know what kind of mindset it is.
Well, let's put it like this. I'm looking at Monica and I don't trust her. So
Okay.
if that's the case, then I know for sure that I'm not the only one in the, visiting your channel that that probably does believe the same. So I don't know. I don't trust that woman. I don't trust this whole situation. It doesn't make sense. And I don't know why they keep holding on to Darian. I really don't. I really think if it wasn't for a more upscale community, I think Monica would be in jail as well. If it wasn't for it being a nice community.
Well, I don't know if her end is upscale, because on that affidavit it shows she didn't have a business telephone number, so that means NA means you don't work.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I think you do know that. Come on now, Angel. Come on now.
I didn't. Well, I didn't. I mean, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Well, but I'm just saying, when crimes happen, little things come out about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like your age, where you work.
Yeah. Mm.
You haven't heard that.
Well,
you haven't heard she has a job.
True.
Okay.
That's true.
Well,
that's all I wanted to say, because I hope we get some more information. I did not know she called the police, so.
Well, that's why I made the video.
I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did.
That is the purpose of this live. I'm 1 hour and 32 minutes in, but I thank you. all for joining me. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad you shared this. I'm definitely going to save it to my list. So if someone else would like to either to hear this, because that tells me Monica's lying more, wants some more. So why she feels she has to lie, I don't know.
Oh, I think you do.
We'll see. We'll see it.
Well, usually when people lie, it's because they have something to hide. They don't want something
definitely.
to do. You know that. There's just no reason to lie unless you are a sociopath. Now, you do have people who are pathological liars. And that's why the word pathological is in front of liar, because you can't stop lying.
True.
Now, is she that type of person? I don't know. But thus far, it's not looking good. She's lying excessively as of late, because she never told the Daily Mail that she called 911 about a break-in previous. And at that time, the child was already dead at 6:53 when she called, because the child was discovered at 6:50, blocks away. So he was already out of the house and deceased. Where he was murdered, I do not know. Who took him out? Who orchestrated this? I do not know. But it doesn't look good for she, her son, and that family unit alongside Mr. Darren Brown. Is the video two separate videos? I do not know. But there is no time stamp. So it looks like it could be concocted. Video today, another video today. Does he look comfortable in that said video in color? Yes. It looks like he's been just walked in, looking around. He's too comfortable for my taste during daylight saving time.
Yeah.
That looks like somebody who's been there more than one time.
Yes, definitely.
And after we've seen the tour of this mansion, it ain't nothing to scream about. And it shouldn't have been a tour. It shouldn't have been a tour. And we have the common sense of an intruder coming in who's never been there before. One, what is he doing there? What is he looking for? What did he take?
Thank you.
Besides the child. You went there specifically to steal a kid.
And to be honest with you, by 10 o'clock, she would have known that Cash, unfortunately, was deceased. I mean,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. 6:53 is when the call went into the dispatch. That means she never went to the rooms to check her children.
Yeah, I know.
Because had she done that, she would have known he was gone.
I know. What I'm saying is, even if she did not check the rooms, just the fact that the police were out there on the street, just the gossip alone saying, look, there's a child that's been missing, and they would have probably described Cash, and she would have known, even if she didn't go and check on the children. Or why didn't Carter say
something? This for a minute. Does that make sense not to check your house and you calling the police about a break-in?
No, I'm saying you're right.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying, think about it for a minute. What person would not check on their children?
Someone, true. That's true.
That's why I'm saying you can't explain it no kind of way. She can't explain it.
No.
Because imagine when they came back to the house to file the report to say, oh yeah, you want to come identify this baby in the road? What the hell was you? Oh, did we just leave your house this morning? And if they're not the same officers, it comes up on a computer.
True.
We just had somebody at your house. For what? A break-in? Wait a minute. You didn't check the rooms, ma'am, to see that your children were missing? Come on now.
True.
Yes, someone already knew they were gone. Amen, Yvette.
Yeah.
Someone says the whole neighborhood's on drugs, I guess. Possibly so. I don't know. Very sad. Yes, this is just stupid. Oh, you said when I feel like my intelligence is being insulted. But that's the purpose of a liar, a sociopath. These are the games they play with people. It's mind games. The woe is me. Feel sorry for me. Oh, I've got so many problems. Oh, I'm taking care of 2 kids. My boyfriend left his kids. I'm doing everything I can. Oh, woe is me. And then once you start looking at the situation, every day there's all these crazy stories coming out about this chick. Her and this black kid that she act like she don't know. Her and her son.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about going from not knowing him to he's in your house 2 days before. Now he done slept in your house for almost a year with his brother.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yes, manipulation.
Okay.
But never a victim. She's not a victim. Okay, no. Sandy Lee. Play nice.
Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I've got some homework.
Thanks for joining me. Okay. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
That was Black Angel. If you want to join the panel to give your commentary pertaining to this new information, pertaining to Miss Sherrod making a police report of a break-in on the same morning that the child was kidnapped, please hit the link. 6:53 a.m. a call goes into the dispatch by Miss Sherrod from her Florina Parkway home. The child was discovered in the road at 6:50, a 3-minute difference variation. 7:27 a.m. it is alleged that Darren Brown is seen on a camera entering the room, mumbling to himself, looking at Carter Gernon, but does not take the child. Exits the room shortly after, if we're to believe it is the same day. 6:53 to 7:27 a.m. is not a long window to be peeping, creeping around someone's house twice. He took a chance entering one time. Why go back? didn't take the child. Why did Darren Brown go back if indeed that video footage is the same day? Why would he return? What was in his hand? Some are alleging a knife. Some of you think it's something else. What was it? What was the motivation for returning? What was the motivation for someone kidnapping this child? And why are we now finding out that Monica Sherrod is the ultimate pathological liar indeed? Why is she covering her knowledge, relationship with Darren Brown, her and her son and children? And now we find out she called the police department on the same morning that she had a break-in. So what transpired with that police call? What happened? Who was in her house? Was anyone in her house? Was that call a ruse to the police department because they had already been outside, perhaps peeping and slumbering because this was a setup? And you've seen the sirens down the road. You're up looking around, you and your son, playing dumb, acting like you didn't get up till 10 a.m. You never went to sleep because you had work to do. Is it possible? You set that boy up to take the fall. You knew he was disturbed. He had a mental problem. He's a thief. He's a burglar, peeping Tom, whatever you want to call him. Perfect patsy to help get rid of a kid. What's his role in this kidnapping death of the child? I don't know. What is the motive for the kidnapping death of Cash Gernon? I do not know. But it is vile regardless. Because he didn't deserve this. No child deserves to be bludgeoned to death. Pass on back. Because they were not your children. And from what we've learned of your past dealing with drugs, you don't deserve the kids that you've had. And when the state took them away, they should have kept them. You're a fuck up, a raw fuck up. And you don't care about yourself, so you can't care about your children. And if you are with child, have mercy on that baby in your womb. And I pray that that is just a rumor. Because if I was the city of Dallas, I would strap your ass down on a gurney. You all know the rest. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to the information relayed in this said live. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, she did have something on her nose. I do not know what that was, Yvette. All right. Enough, y'all. Stop talking about other people on the YT in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, stringy haired bad indeed. Say what, Sailor? Says Monica called at 7. Wouldn't cops target her house once they had the body? I would hope so. That's okay. I just don't want any problems. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm almost topping at the hour 2. But that is the said information coming out of Dallas, Texas, pertaining to Monica Sherrod. She is indeed a liar. And anyone rallying with her, have mercy on your soul. Because you should have seen the signs that something wasn't right with her day one. Because it didn't take long for the rest of us to see that she had been lying to the public. And day for day, since she opened her mouth about Cash Gernon, nothing but bones have been flying out of that heifer's throat, as my grandmama would say.
Hey,
Hello.
Angela.
How are you?
But I came up here to correct you on, you said she didn't have a job. Being a dope head is a job.
You know I ain't got time for this. No story.
She do got a job.
She
Getting
works
that
hard
dope.
for the money. So hard for it, honey.
She surely does.
Don't get me
7
screwed.
days a week.
I'm trying to be mellow. Under the circumstances, my allergies are cutting up, eyes watering. I can't. Don't start, please. I can't
And
tonight.
see, what's wrong with her is that tweaking. That was wrong in them videos, some interviews. She was tweaking.
Well, Sailor, it doesn't matter about who brought the children into the home. In the end, we have a dead child. So we can't go back into who brought the children there, if they were there, how long they stayed. That's just another part of this puzzle that's baffling and shows that if indeed that's true, she's a pathological liar. Because why would those said kids be in your house, whether you're incarcerated or not? You still should be able to have control over who comes in your house, whether you're living there or not. It's still your house, even if you're in jail. You can still have the rights to say, hey, I don't want that person in my house. It's my house.
Exactly. And to be honest, everybody played a part in these kids
Yes.
and this baby demise.
A lot of hanky-panky, passing children. I've never seen anything like it. But I've told people, this is what you get with street people. This is what you get with people that's troubled. They're tainted. They've got drama. They're alcoholics, drunks, whatever they're on. They bring problems. They always do. I don't care if they're single with no kids. People who stay living a street life, they are problematic. I'm telling you, most of you know, if you've ever dealt with one or you are one or been one, you know what they bring to the table. It's always foolishness dealing with people who use drugs. It's the bottom line. The problems. It's always something with them. Your phone will ring literally off the hook because they need something. This happened. I'm in jail. I'm locked up. I need this. I need some commissary. Can you come pick me up? I gotta go see the probation officer. I got to be there by 4:30. If I don't be violated. I mean, it's always something. Man, miss me with that. When you get to a certain age, you need to grow up. And you see, she's 35 years old, allegedly. She has not grown up.
And look, every bit of 180.
2 children. Your children have been taken out your custody now 2 times, allegedly in a lifetime. You now are allegedly with child. You're catching scrutiny for this case because the lies are catching up and coming up. But you did this. You did this to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You got with somebody who's a dope fiend. How can you say she wanted to better herself, but she dated somebody that got high on heroin? How does that make any sense? And if you know that you got a drug problem, the golden rule is you don't pick a man that gets high too. You pick a decent man that don't use drugs. Preferably, don't pick a man that smoke or drink.
Well, we don't make excuses, and we're going to always stand for the kids.
Yvette, we don't even know who showed up at the house. Excuse me, not out. We don't even know who showed up at the house, Yvette, for that break-in call. I just brought you the information that it's on an affidavit that she did make a police call, and they took a report. It's on a document. I saw it on the YT today. That's the said information. You know that all police calls are public information. Go ahead, not out.
And what was they going to get up out of there?
I don't know.
With people, with that affidavit coming out, stands on what I said that this was planned because you heard somebody break in your house. Now they broke in. Did they kick the door in? Did they come in through the window? Did they fall through the chimney? Did they crawl through the floor? How you know? How you know? Now, if they come in, you realize somebody broke in, you got all these people in the house and you don't get nobody up to make sure that the burglar not still in there. They didn't harm nobody else, whoever else lives there, because we don't know how many people lived in the house. Did y'all check the cameras? Because the cameras would have showed the burglary, right?
Ting, 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 ting.
The same way they showed the kidnapping of Cash, then it should have showed the burglary. All that should have been on the same film, on the same day. Oh, nobody thought of that. So you don't think about that. You go back to bed or you stay up. What are you doing? I know, playing your part, waiting for, pretending that this little baby missing, and you distraught. See, nobody put that together with the affidavit coming out. What did she do within them 3 minutes? Because common sense would have said, I got a camera. I could rewind the camera and tell the 911 operator something.
Yeah.
But you don't have nothing. And then a baby come up deceased in your care all on the same day. I said from day one, from the doors to how they got in, how the alleged perpetrator was comfortable in the house, in a
Yeah.
house full of people,
Yeah, I know.
to get a baby and just, it's all right, I'm here to get a baby to do harm to. All this was convenient. And nobody is understanding why I said every adult attached to these kids needs to be locked up.
I know.
From the mammy to the pappy to the geek monster to that crazy ass boy, all of them. The granddaddy who said the baby been to all of them. All of them need to be charged with that same charge DB got. Because they all played a part.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be laying in a cemetery in a box if the mammy would have took responsibility, if the pappy would have took responsibility. Nobody thinks about that.
Well,
If the mammy is a truck driver, I'm trying to understand why the daddy couldn't take care of him. He could have sued her for child support if he had custody. Truck drivers make good money.
well, obviously he didn't care. If your only goal is to get high, you're not thinking of right. You're not thinking logically like a normal person would think.
It would have been money.
That lets you know your priorities not straight. That you don't think, hey, she works, she got a job, I'm taking care of these kids, she needs to pay me child support.
Exactly. That's why I said,
how's you don't know to do that?
lock them all up.
Yeah, they
And
are.
start with that stringing her back.
She needs to be charged with child neglect, child endangerment, and so does the father for leaving the children in her care, knowing that she is a user. And he's also liable as well because he is a user. So they're both liable, in my opinion.
I want that granddaddy who said he knew something going on since they make Facebook posts.
Because he didn't have no business putting that on Facebook.
Well,
If you're not going to explain that thoroughly, you have no business airing that out without a receipt. Point blank.
Well, he made himself a suspect because he knew something and didn't report it. That's a crime.
That's why I say, why would you tell that? Because people are going to wonder, well, how did you know that? Well, what did you do about it? How long have you known? But you're not going to tell that part. You're just going to tell, oh, such and such been touched, but then leave it open-ended. So people can ask 50,000 questions, but you're not going to give the appropriate responses. Why not? So why even mention it? Because did you go to the police? Did you talk to the people who allegedly were touching the child? Did you try to have the child removed? Did you call DHS? See where I'm going? No, you go to Facebook, the lie book.
So we know it's just not young people that's stupid. Old people stupid too.
Sad. Monica's mom filed a lawsuit against Walmart for fouling. Okay.
I'm not shocked. They tried to get a GoFundMe. I'm not shocked.
No, that was Monica's mama. Yeah. Trying to help on some kids that don't belong to you. Because like somebody said, when you realize Trevor wasn't coming back, you should have called appropriate people to say, hey, this man left his children with me. It doesn't matter if you like the children or not. They weren't your responsibility. And the right thing was to have next of kin notified about the children.
She could take care of her own children. How you gonna take care of some old children? Well, see, something ain't right with it. It's something.
But she probably swore she did, though. You have people like that, though.
That geek monster was looking at money.
Well, I wonder if she got any type of aid. If she ended up having that personal information and apply for possibly a welfare check and or food stamps and medical for the children. I wonder if she did that. Did he leave her that said documentations for the children? I wonder. I was curious about that.
Well, that's what I asked last week, and then that's when we were like, well, the kids didn't belong to her, but now that you say he could have left her some information or signed
I
papers
don't know,
or
honey.
anything, but I want that string of hair back.
Crazy lady.
And that crazy boy.
Love the boys. Yeah, that's what she said. People don't think before they speak. I'm going to know that people continue to make excuses for this BS. Well, Crystal, this is no different than Cal City and so many other cases that are discussed. There are people who are going to ride or die for people who are wayward. That's just the way the world is made. There's going to always be people that's going to ride or die for people they know are unfit, deemed unfit, have been proven unfit. They will make excuses for them because, as I state, they are like them. So it's okay to ride or die for somebody I'm similar to, I relate to, I identify with.
Right.
Because you identifying with somebody that never took care of their kids, threw them all off, got in trouble, getting bail bonds for this and that, continuously, state coming in, taking your kids, children got broke legs, limbs, you can't even pee in a cup without coming up dirty. You don't care about yourself. So you can't care about your kids. But you'll swear for God that you do. And you will have people who will rally behind these people. And it's never going to stop. Because as I said, like minds, birds of a feather. That's why we're in this situation right now, discussing one decedent and one itty bitty spider without a twin, because a bunch of misfits got together and procreated, went through whatever they went through, children got separated, went from pillar to post with the father, then over here to Miss Sherrod, and now one of them's dead. No different.
And it's an everyday occurrence.
Cal City, same thing. Wayward mama, different baby daddies. Nobody stepped up to the plate to step up when the children were out of custody, except for two older children's fathers, two babies, foster care, however it went, over to the West House, now missing. Speaks for itself. It's sad.
And people gonna continue to break their
No
neck
respect for
because
children.
that's what
No
they
respect for these kids. No respect for these kids at all.
They street people.
Crystal, I can't pull you up, honey, because I can't get this cursor thing. Is oh God, it's back.
These are street people.
I don't even know what's wrong with this. This is back doing this thing.
Like you always say, these are street people.
They are street
and
people.
I really not get.
I tell you that all the time. The race don't have nothing to do with you being a street person. You a bottom feeder. You can be white. You can be black. You can be green. You just ghetto, and that's what these people are. They're ghetto. There ain't one. That woman is live from the beginning. She don't care nothing about herself, so she don't care about her own children. And this is what people need to realize for those that want to ride or die for her. Won't you ask yourself why the state took two children out of possession after they found that little boy dead? I'll wait.
Won't you go down there and tell them they wrong and she the mother of the year?
Oh, you see what Anna said? Did she get stimulus checks for the boys? Ain't that the truth? You got to think about that, did you? Hello, turn your device down, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got to turn the devices down in the back.
They're down.
Okay, what you have to say? I'm going to check out of here after you say what you got to say. Because I can't, my live is...
I'm just so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I'm just annoyed.
Okay.
I'm annoyed at people continuing to make excuses, but you already said, you already helped me to decipher on the situation. So, yeah, just like you said. They're going to
okay, listen. Hold on 1 second. No thanks. I heard she was supposed to file them as dependents on your taxes this year. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and then like I said before, for the ones that are making freaking comments or whatever, It's not that I'm saying DB, Darren Brown, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything at all. But what I am saying is that he didn't do it by himself, period. And I'm not rolling with any of the adults, and I'm only rolling for Cash and any of the other kids in all these cases. I'm not going to, for these grown folks that don't care about these kids, that's why it's going to continue to keep going on. They're going to continue to get away with it. Why? Because they got the little side kicks, vouching for them. Even though they're drug users, they don't care about the kids, abuse them, everything else. Oh, but we're just going to go ahead and ride with them? Like, that makes no sense at all. I'm really upset today. Oh my goodness. And I know y'all usually let this stuff get to me like this, but today, nah.
Well, it's just an epidemic. It's an epidemic. But it's an epidemic. But it's an epidemic. That's the problem. These people out here, it's an epidemic with these people being trifling. It's an epidemic where people want to ride and support them, want to fight you, cuss you out, trace you down on social media. Yeah, we're going to say it. Trace you down on social media pages, trying to tell you about yourself. And you're going to tell me about myself and nobody else. You want to ride or die with a bottom feeder, that's on you. But to be tracking people down to tell them about themselves because they don't want to rally behind a street person. So that means you're telling on yourself that that's who you are. That's what you're about. You're like them. You identify with them because you have something in common with them. And you really don't want to admit that to yourself, that you identify with people who mistreat their children, get their children taken, CPS is in their business every other day. They're breaking the law. They're going to jail for stealing, defrauding, getting high, popping pills, whatever the hell they're doing. You like that because possibly that's how you live. Or you've lived that life. And you can relate. And what you should be saying to yourself is, I overcame. And that's not appropriate life for raising children. Not appropriate life for a single person. But to each its own. But when you have children, you have to pick the higher road. Because those children didn't ask to come here. And first of all, they didn't choose you for a parent. They didn't have a dog in the race. They didn't choose you. And just think about that for a second. If a child could go to the parent store and walk inside the store and pick out a parent, would he or she pick you? Just think about that. Would they pick you?
A goldfish wouldn't pick them, so now the kids ain't gonna pick them.
You know what, that oh, Jesus, I'm dead. I should have never said that about that goldfish earlier. Y'all gonna wear me out on that. But I said that I wouldn't give her a goldfish. I wouldn't give Monica Sherrod nothing. She couldn't even get a ball of yarn from the queen, honey. I wouldn't give that heifer a ball of yarn. She messed up.
Not a ball of yarn.
You messed that up, heifer.
Not a ball of yarn.
The whole house be stringed up with yarn. She's despicable. Telling these lies for no reason. But see, there's always a reason. That's the point. To boldly tell a lie like this, that's a big lie. The big one was not knowing Darren. Now you've called the police on a report that somebody broke in your house that morning. How can we not think you and your children are involved in the death of that little boy at this point? Because that's major deception.
Can you address somebody in the
who should I be addressing?
Sailor Via.
What about him? It's not an appropriate way of parenting. However, I have to scroll it down. What does it say?
It says it's not an appropriate way of parenting. However, it doesn't make Monica guilty of murder. There are several layers of dysfunction that can be analyzed.
Let
Well,
me analyze this
I'm
first.
not here to play psychiatrist with you or anybody in the chat. And like I said, I don't apologize for anything that I say in the chat about a person. I judge people on instinct. And if you lie about knowing someone who's allegedly you identified in a crime, now we find out you've lied about a police report the same morning of the death of a child, and knowing that other person that you identified as a suspect, then that leads me to think that you're involved in this crime some way or another.
Yeah, that's it. Point blank, period.
So there's nothing to analyze about a lie. A lie is a lie. A lie about a death, what analyzing do I need to do? Save the psychobabble for Dr. Phil. I'm not interested. Because 9 times out of 10, that lady knew the boy was dead, and possibly it was orchestrated for him to get dead. Because there's no way you can make a 911 call that someone broke into your house and you don't even check your children to make sure that they are all safely accounted for.
And even if you didn't do that, you're going to walk around your house to see if the intruder is still there. What you going to do, go back to sleep? That just makes no sense.
Well,
and people, oh my God. It's just so annoying. I'm annoyed. Very annoyed.
I don't know why she joined the list. The rest of the list of the ain't so-called mammoths.
yes,
For
Moon
me,
Chat, point. Lying about knowing Darren. Now we find out about this 911 call the same morning, 3 minutes apart from when the woman discovered the body, and you don't find that suspicious. So that means you walked around your house while the child was missing before 10 a.m.
we don't care whether you believe.
That doesn't need any explanation. Hold on a second. That's okay. It's okay, honey. Queen, come. You know how
I'm glad my mind is not like theirs. That's all I got to say.
We're not going to worry about it.
Mine either. Amen.
Well, like I said, I already told you like mine. So that's the whole point of it.
Okay.
But we appreciate her for doing all them interviews. That she helping it. So they can lock her right on up.
Okay, Queen, I'm
because nobody that lost a child gave as many interviews as she had.
You're entitled to your opinion pertaining to this case. You're entitled to your opinion about what you think Darren did, didn't do, who knew him, didn't know him, all the parties involved, from the bio parents to Sherrod to Trevor to Darren, and any other outside sources that you think may be involved. But in the end, the truth has come out about Monica Sherrod and her motivation for that morning. It looks like she's involved. Because you cannot now logically explain calling 911 for a break-in at your home, and you do not walk around that said house to see that all your children are accounted for. And at the time of the call to the dispatch, Cash Gernon was gone out of that house. And yet you did not, Miss Monica Sherrod, walk around the premises and to the other side of the house to verify if Cash and Carter were there. And that's the spoken word. That doesn't need any analyzing or an explanation. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank the mods for joining me. It's been a wonderful evening. And when I get more information pertaining to this case, I will bring it to you. But this is baffling nonetheless, because this shows just cause to me that Monica and her son and others too, children too, I don't care, I loop them all together, you're suspect to me at this point. Whether you all believe Darren involved or not, whether you think he had a knife in his hand or not, there's no way you can excuse this information now that she talked to the police now 2 times in a 3-hour interval, 4-hour interval, and didn't think the police were not going to be suspect to, why are you calling us again about a missing child, when you should have known that when you called us 6:53 a.m. to say somebody broke into your house. I think we now know no one broke into the house. This possibly was no kidnapping. This was an orchestrated plan to get rid of a 4-year-old who probably was deemed rambunctious, a problem child. And I hate to say that, but that is how a lot of people deem children. And if Darren is indeed involved, then he will pay the piper as well. And hopefully if he's not, then he will be vindicated. But that family is trouble, and they are tainted. And that lady appears to be an addict, and she does not care for her children because she doesn't care for herself. And if you want to support an addict and a troublemaker that stays in trouble with the law and loses her children every few years, then knock yourself out. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments down on my community post. Thank you all for joining me. Have a happy holiday, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all our veterans that have served, those currently serving, those who have perished. God bless all of you. Stay safe. I'm out of here. Bye.